Bonjour, hello. Comme promis, la vidéo totale des petits morceaux que j'ai mis sur Instagram. Kettlebell ici, kettlebells. La mienne à 8 kilos. Alors, je fais pas en 10, tout est en 4, 5, 6, 8. Parce que c'est plutôt intermédiaire avancé aujourd'hui. En fait, ma méthode, ou la méthode qu'on dit d'entraîneur personnel, où on mélange tout. Parce que d'habitude aussi les cours sont d'1 heure à 1 heure et demie et on fait un peu de tout. Comme ça, il y a les poids, il y a le cardio. Alors, vous pouvez commencer avec des plus petits poids ou une de mes autres vidéos avec quand j'utilise 4 kilos ou 6 kilos. Là, c'est 8 kilos. This is 8 kilos going for building muscle, keeping our muscles, and in my case, building and keeping. And remember your Pilates connections, les connexions de Pilates. Ça, le Pilates, on l'utilise dans tout. À part le yoga, il y a une façon complètement différente de respirer. But neutral is always there. And you can actually, in the end, so what I got all my clients to do, they can actually do the stomach breathing as well as the Pilates breathing at the same time, which is quite good. So here, still working. This really burns the thighs. On brûle les quadriceps, mais on utilise aussi les muscles des bras, qui est très important. Alors, j'espère que je vais pouvoir parler. I could talk. I could talk for Britain. I could talk for France. And the place I grew up, Quebec, Montréal. Wait, I think people must talk more there. I just hear in France, I think I'm considered very kind of loud, which I try not to be, but then we're told to be ourselves. But, sometimes you have to just do your best. So here is one I love. J'aime beaucoup celui-là. J'ai vu un monsieur japonais le faire et j'ai pensé, ouh, ça c'est bien. Mais je le fais encore, connexion pilates, respiration de pilates. Hein? On expire when we're actually working hard, on effort. Vous expirez sur l'effort, ici, et on garde nos connexions. Comme ça, on ne laisse pas les omoplates bouger, on laisse pas comme ça, les épaules ne vont pas aux oreilles. Alors, je tiens encore 8 kilos, là, c'est toujours 8 kilos. Vous pouvez commencer peut-être avec un 6, mais là, moi, je vais rester avec plutôt que 8 et 12. Voilà. Alors, c'est plus simple. These are my favorite ones that I've been doing these for decades. They work well. And this is with 8 kilos, so I do less. But you can do more repetitions or repeat this video 3 times or pause at every exercise and repeat 3 times. So here I am doing the same, keeping it simple, which is what you should do as you go with higher weights. So you're just concentrating on your breathing, your technique, and not having to think too much of a flow in this case, or what comes next. So now I'm with my little friend, the 6 kilo, and it's quite fun to jump with weights. Very good for your bones, especially as we get older. Ugh. Is it just a number? Anyway, you have no choice. The privilege is to get old, that's true. And God, if I could do like Kris Kardashian and have that wonderful new face. Come on, I'm a little bit jealous, but I'm poor. I can't afford $500,000 for a new face. How much is it for the whole body and maybe some new organs? So here we go. Up and a little extra. You can use, vous pouvez utiliser des blocs ou des livres. You can bend your knees for that one. And here I am adding the ballet. Lengthen and point. Going down slowly, slowly, and then bringing your arm down. This is just the technique you use to bring the weight to the other side pour pas que ça smash dans votre visage. J'adore maintenant qu'on parle tous franglais. Alors, ça va, I'm fine. Là, je m'amuse. Vous n'avez pas besoin de faire ça. On inspire. Comme vous voyez, j'ai écorché mon genou. I fell over. That's my sight problems. And this is where I'm always working on my balance because, of course, as my sight is changing and I only have it in one eye now, which is good. I lost it in both for a bit. That was horrid. I think my balance is not always what it should be, and it's something we work at for the rest of our lives anyway. So here we are, and this is a classic Pilates, which is quite difficult. Keep your C curve, keep your C curve, keep your C curve. As I see now on the video, I am going to see the osteopath at one point to have my body put back because I'm off to one side a little bit. That's normal, especially for having done ballet for years, a little bit of problems there, and getting hit by a car a long time ago, but it still affects my body. So this is fun. On fait les jambes, on fait le corps, et après on fait jambes et corps ensemble. Là, c'est Soron, who is he's lost his sight in his one remaining eye and doesn't really hear anymore. But we've been to the vets, second opinion even, and he's just getting old. So he decided he was going to lie there. There we go. So I've given him his own mat, and this time, je refais kettlebell rise, mais avec 2 kilos en plus sur chaque cheville. 2 kilos on each ankle, but I'm staying at the moment with the 6 kilo kettlebell, which, believe me, was enough. Being careful, not straightening my knees completely because of my kysts, and especially my Baker's cysts. I said kyste, français. There we go. And here is one, on peut utiliser des blocs. Vous pouvez même plier vos genoux légèrement. Voilà, and that works your side. Remember to push your hips out when you do it. Push your hips out on this one. Poussez la hanche vers l'arrière. Et là, we are in lovely lengthening neutral. This is really difficult, but I'm going to keep going. Hope you keep going with me. On va faire ça ensemble. On travaille fort. Il faisait plus de 30 degrés aujourd'hui. Et même ça, c'était ce matin, this morning. So I'm not going to overdo it. That's my aneurysms. I overdid it for years thinking it was okay because they hadn't found what was wrong with me. It took 4 years for them to find it. So, find them. My mirrored aneurysms, optical aneurysms. Anyway, back to keeping strong, which is what's important. You can put on your music with this and still listening to my annoying voice. Comme ça, vous m'écoutez quand même et vous pouvez mettre votre musique en arrière. J'ai décidé de pas de mettre musique pour celui-là aujourd'hui et juste se concentrer sur un peu de kettlebell ici with ballet bar sculpt. Alors, 2 kilos, on voit sur les chevilles et 6 kilos kettlebells. À vous de décider ce que vous pouvez prendre. Si c'est votre première fois, parce que là, c'est assez avancé, c'est pour ça que j'en fais pas autant. We're staying less repetitions, bigger weights. So in fact, more intermediate advanced. Push your sacrum on the floor, not your lower back. And this is harder than it looks. Et comme vous avez plus de poids, peut-être de pas descendre all the way down. You don't want to mess up the hips. You want to stay neutral. Il ne faut pas bouger le bassin. Tournez les jambes en dehors. En dehors, je ne peux pas le dire assez, c'est comme si on faisait du ballet. Et c'est ça qu'il avait découvert, Joseph Pilate. Voilà, to do it. Turning out is what helps. You don't have to turn out like a Russian ballerina. We were taught the Russian method. Just slight turn out, and don't go as far down with your legs if you're using bigger weights. And remember here, it is opposite rib to opposite hip. Keeping your arms wide, opening, shoulder blades down. And here, you shouldn't hear a clunk. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Pull those legs out. The more you get tired, the more you lengthen. Okay, and enjoy breathing in, breathing out. In and breathing out on effort. Make sure you use your side, not your shoulder, for this tiny, mean movement at the end. When I first came here 11 years ago, I had thought about a cafe, a yoga cafe. One's open now. I was just too early here. I brought London too early. And always asking, even 20 years ago, to get together with the different, specific surf school to do a surf camp for kids. And there was my daughter's school in London that were interested, but they just didn't want to do it here. Now they're all doing it. So it's just a little bit early. But it's happening. There's a younger version of people arriving or here, and it's really, really full on lovely. So here I've done the same exercise, tabletop, hein, tabletop, mais avec des poids de 2 kilos. Là, sur le côté, keep your elbows in. This works your sides. J'allais tirer la jambe d'en dessous, but my pup is there. Shoulder blades are down. So again, I'm only doing small amounts because believe me, it was tiring enough with the extra weights. So we're lengthening and kiss. This has become very popular, but I've always loved it. It's like a press up in arabesque. What can I say? And kiss le tapis. On continue. Tabletop de l'autre côté. Okay, I did not get I just forgot that my legs are a bit longer than I assumed. And of course, my pup won't move, pup. Comme il vient d'une association, moi je l'ai eu 11 ans, mais il a peut-être 12, 13 ans. Il a été trouvé dans la rue au mois d'août in really bad shape. We're not even going to talk about it. We don't live in the past. We live in the present. So, here we go. I really like doing that. Be careful not to collapse your hips. And then, nice here, just a little bit. So make sure you've got weights on your ankles when you do this. But if you're following along, but you're more of a beginner, then no weights and be careful. But repeat, because normally it'd be like 3 times 10 or 2 times 16. I prefer in ballet counts, musical counts. So we're going to carry on now with a little bit of a side one that I love. Now, normally you can do this, on peut faire celui-là sans les poids aussi, mais avec poids, vraiment ça fait une différence. Et ça travaille les obliques en même temps, so it's a plus, isn't it? Inner thighs, it's a classic. You've seen it's used in everything because it's just a good old classic and it's very good for keeping yourself strong in your pelvic area, your inner thighs, your bum, keeping your hips over your hips, shoulders over your shoulders, weight all the way through to your hands. You do not want weight on your elbows. That's really bad. That's not a good idea. And don't sink in your shoulders. Sweating. It's hot. It's really hot. Are you counting? Are you enjoying it? So remember these? Yeah, sometimes I fall to trends and fads, and I'm really against them. As you can see, because I don't really buy new clothes, or my clothes are from TK Maxx, most from 20 years. Anything that is about 20 years old, 25 or more, as we're downsizing and throwing things out, I'm finding it's the old stuff that's lasting the longest. So this is a little strap, a medium one here, and we're going to do just some Bulgarian classic weight stuff. Ça marche très bien, et moi je dois travailler les quadriceps, and let's work the bum. So you put your leg. I found some use for this. I can't be upside down so much, which is why I'm not using my aerial yoga too much. Obviously, I don't want too much blood in my head. So the more you put your weight forward, le plus que le poids est en avant, là, c'est les fessiers qui travaillent. Et là, la même chose, je tiens mon poids. I'm trying to stay straight. I find I'm rounding my shoulders a little bit. Right forward to really work the bum. And then when you're dead straight, you're working your quads. That's the secret. And this works just a little bit when you've got the bent leg on a step, or in this case, one of these things to help do your handstands. So, and also it's actually quite good if you're like me, you've got arthritis in your hands after years of working, and menopause. It is exactly at 41 when I was menopause that it started to wake me up in the night. My hands were hurting so much. And as I'm older than everyone around me and all my friends, nobody, they just thought must because she's worked out so much. But in fact, they've all suffered from it. So I'd say make sure you get a blood test. Make sure you get put on HRT if you feel right about this. Here, we don't have gynecologists in this part of France, unfortunately. And the few that are around, their lists have been closed. I keep trying. It's been 11 years. So I've given up. but I haven't been giving up on staying fit. Though sometimes I wonder if I'd have been able to get the HRT, would I have had my aneurysms? There's no answer to that one. So here we go, and maybe I'd sleep better. So, this is fun. Alors, normalement, on peut le faire sur les coudes, but we're doing advanced. If not, look at one of my other videos where I'm showing where you can be still on your elbow and not on your hand. I'm doing only 4, and you breathe in and you breathe out when you thread your needle. So here, lift your hips, push them forward and up. And now lift your leg if you can, pushing your hips forward, on pousse les hanches devant. Et maintenant, I actually decided to do this at the last minute to make it prettier, instead of collapsing, because it's quite hard. So, le poids est à 4 kilos que j'utilise là. It really works your obliques and your arms at the same time. Hey, it's all a bonus. So here we are. Other side, just so you can see, peekaboo. Mais comme je dis, on peut être sur les coudes, hein, façon plutôt débutant. Et là, c'est intermédiaire avancé. So on pousse les hanches en avant, on garde le poids au-dessus des hanches et des épaules. Et là, quand on peut, on prend le temps de lever la jambe et là aussi d'être bien droit. And breathing out, on descend lentement. Quite pleased with myself on that one. Bon, là, j'ai décidé, OK, on va mettre les poids, 2 kilos sur chaque cheville, and the 4 kilo to do tabletop in my hands, and the ball to just play with the balance a little bit. So the hardest bit is going to be what I'm going to do after. Là, on va sur just working the obliques and the bum at a specific angle pour attraper les muscles des fesses à un certain angle, mais en même temps, on n'est pas assis dans l'épaule, pas du tout. Et le ballon, ça nous déséquilibre. Et c'est toujours bien. It's called a challenge. Hein? Et là, juste un petit peu de grand battement. Et après, a little pulse. I do like a pulse. Hein? C'est très bien, un petit pulse. Et sur les côtés. Là, j'ai pas pris le poids. C'était assez dur sans le poids. Je peux le faire avec des petits poids. But that was hard enough with 2 kilos. But, always, if you keep practicing, I'll be able to do it. So, other side, ready? All over again. So, tabletop with the 4 kilo weight, 2 kilos on my ankles. Can you see? Ooh, so do it slow. No one's rushing you. I'm doing it slow to make sure I stay aligned and try not to use the wrong muscles. Because your body va toujours rechercher une façon de tricher. Et là, j'ai essayé de côté avec le poids, mais c'est vraiment dur. Rond de jambe, you can't even see my leg. Il y a aussi Monsieur Sauron. Bon, c'est une excuse. J'étais bien contente que je l'ai comme excuse pour pas aller trop loin parce que je pouvais pas. Et on lève. Alors, je peux faire rond de jambe, comme vous voulez tout à l'heure, là, avec le poids. Mais j'avais essayé en premier sans le poids. This really helps as well. On garde le ballon pour nous déséquilibrer. That's the whole point. So this is advanced intermediate. I'm very pleased with myself. Ta-da! Et maintenant, un peu de yoga que j'aime, mais c'est des positions de yoga. Je ne suis pas prof de yoga, j'ai choisi ça parce que ça a toujours aidé mes problèmes de hanches. I love it. Et je les utilise comme super étirement. Si vous pouvez utiliser un élastique pour attraper le pied, remember, don't sickle your foot. And keep your elbow as tucked in to your side as possible and your hand wide and not off to the side. Pulling in. And there, you've got your C that you use in Pilates. Yes. Lovely. And another favorite, putting the weight on my shoulder, and breathing in, and then this is a balance. It's all about floating, and you float and your bum goes up and you kiss the floor. No, you don't have to do that and keep yourself nice and straight. I'm just having fun. When I have a good day, my hands hurt. I do all the exercises, But yes, ta-da! I was also doing some facial yoga, and it does work, but you got to do it every day. So I guess if I could get hold of someone that did decent Botox, I'd do that. But I can't now anyway. I'm on specific medicine for my aneurysms, so I bleed like a pig. So I guess I can never, ever have anything like that. I guess I'll have to do facial yoga exercises every day. So you have to find a way to do things at the same time. I have to get back into this one, but I love it. So shake out your hands so they're comfy. And this just puts me in the best mood. I used to be able to do it without the elbow inside, which is a beginner's position. Mais ça fait rien. Là, je fais plutôt débutant. Mais je ne pense pas qu'avec l'arthrose dans mes mains et mes pouces, que je vais pouvoir revenir à pour pas avoir justement le coude en dessous de l'estomac. I love this position. You float. These are the floating position, yet I use them like in ballet as well to lengthen and stretch my body. So breathe in and breathing out, lengthen, stretch, feel good about yourself. Haven't we done well? Cat-cow. And on to just a few more. Now, this is a classic I love. Prenez votre temps. Make sure you are warmed up, specifically your hips are warmed up before you do this. It feels good. It feels good in your lower back. But if you have any injuries, please, before you even do any videos on YouTube or Insta, check with a doctor that everything is right. Me shaking out. And here we go. It just this actually puts everything in place. I have quite a few nice exercises to stretch. Some are Pilates, some are Pilates osteopath exercises, and this that I love very, very much. So here we're just stretching, breathing in, breathing out. Make sure you keep saying to yourself, I've done really well. Now, this is the frog. I enjoy it. Yes, my hips are flat from ballet since I was 18, but I really enjoy doing this still, and I muscle around my hips to make sure that I can stand and just stretch. So this is another favorite. Again, you can just stay here. You don't have to lie down. You can aller juste sur les coudes aussi. Et là, vous pouvez relâcher. Relâcher les côtes. Mais on serre le plancher pelvien, on rentre et remonte. Et après, on essaye de garder ça et faire la respiration de yoga. Taking my time with my old cyst. And well done you. Give yourself a big clap. Now, I thought I'd add a little extra at the end with the ball, which I enjoy a lot. So here we are. It's one of my favorite positions on the ball, and it's quite difficult. I even had a étoile from the American Ballet Theatre a few years. Yeah, I'm going to repeat it because you know what? I'm old and I'm proud. She said I was an inspiration. How kind of her. So this works your quads, your stomach. You've got to keep that leg in the air as high as it'll go. And it's hard. Now,